first thing in the morning, look at yourself and say, you are absolutely amazing.
Love that.
You got this. Say, I love you. It's amazing the reaction you get when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. The first time I did it, I started to cry.
Aww.
It was weird. Yeah. And I love myself.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Make It Count. I'm your host, Michelle Latocha, and today I have a really dear colleague of mine, Sue Wedsworth from Worth Results. So welcome, Sue.
Thank you very much, Michelle. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. When did we meet?
Oh, geez. I would say a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah.
We're part of our BNI.
Exactly.
And you came in as a director?
Yeah, director consultant.
Yes.
And that was the first time we met.
Yes.
And then, I've drank a different amount of Kool-Aid. So got out of that and joined the group.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's so great to have you. And you're also part of our empowerment.
Absolutely.
Empower Her Business Club, which is nice, right? You bring us such a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, thank you.
I want to talk to you today about, being an empowerment coach, because I think that's kind of the poster to what I really strive to help other women. So tell me a bit about, and our viewers, what you do.
Okay, so that's a very loaded question because I do a lot. But basically what I do is I help people get out of their own way. A lot of people put a lot of obstacles in front of themselves, or they tell themselves that it's okay, or I'm fine, or, maybe this isn't going to work, or they listen to their fear and negativity and self-doubts and everything that maybe they've been programmed to do. And I change their mindset and tell them that actually what they want to do is completely possible. They have so much unlimited potential inside them. And it's things that most of us were told as children, but as we grew up, we got into the environment of adulting and being cynical and not believing things and listening to things like logic. Not that that's a bad thing, but just getting out of their own way, getting out of their own head, and basically starting to move towards the happy life and the fulfilled life that they want to have.
Wow. And did you always do this, right?
Oh, I wish. Oh, I wish I did this. No, I did the same thing that everybody else did. I followed the money. I was actually started off as a small business consultant, helping people start up their own small businesses. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
But it was an annual contract. And the fear kicked in that one day the money wouldn't be there for the contract. And I wanted at that time a vertical career. I wanted to be the VP. I wanted to have the title. I wanted everything to go with that, the lifestyle. And the Bank of Montreal reps came to me and said, we want your resume. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And they're like, no, we want your resume. So I went in and they offered me something that I really like, which is money.
Yeah.
And I stayed there mostly out of false, a lot of fear. I was afraid to move to other banks because I was afraid it would be worse. And I was telling myself that I enjoyed it. And there was aspects that I enjoyed, and I was quite good at it. So there was two things. One, I followed the money. And two, I told myself I was good at it, so let's keep going.
Yeah.
And it turned into 18 years of absolutely unhappiness and hatred and anger and everything. And so I started to consult, and I realized I enjoyed that, but I was consulting for different things.
Okay.
And then when everything sort of went to the bottom, I actually got fired. I don't tell people that because
really
there's
powerful.
a lot. And it was devastating because everything I did was connected to me as a banker. So I lost a part of my identity. And long story. You've got 25 minutes, and I'm going to take about 10 for this story. But anyway. Found a joy of teaching, which was awesome, but I needed, again, the fear of money I needed to offset, so I took banking again, and the same thing started to happen. So went into depression again. I've been through burnout.
Did you have a light bulb moment?
Oh, the light bulb moment was actually at this convention for the bank that I worked for, and it was all on mental health and wellness. And they had a speaker there talking about coaching and saying on how you can absolutely turn your life around. You can do anything you want, and all you need to do is text me yes. And I couldn't get my phone out fast enough, and I texted her yes. And then she told me the cost, and I scraped together the money to get the coaching. And it was honestly everything that I believed as a child was absolutely possible. And that's when my light bulb moment is I started to turn my life around. I got out of depression. I found my joy. I found my passion. And this has to be spread to everybody, because everybody can turn their life around. They can get out of depression. They can have the life they want. And that's why I do what I do. So it's only been 6 years that I've been doing this. And I wish I had made the connection.
Yeah. but it's
you
so
don't.
amazing, right? I just I have chills because you lived it. It's not that, you're doing this and it's great, you got certifications and you're doing this, but like you lived it,
Absolutely.
you breathed it. You can really, empathize with people who are living a life that's unfulfilled.
Absolutely. And it's unfortunately so common. And people will settle for the okay and I'm fine rather than work towards the amazing and the potential success and beauty and fun and joy and passion and happiness, because those are actually the things that are worth working for.
But I think it starts like you said, like as children, as parents, both of us, you tell your kids it's limitless, like we believe in you, you can do anything.
Yes.
But then I'm not sure how that gets disrupted through schooling, right?
Yeah.
It's like we chase a dream, we chase a goal. And, for type A personalities, it's like, I want to achieve, I want to achieve, I want to achieve. And then you get there and you realize, oh my gosh, like, did I miss out on life? Right? That could happen. It happened to myself, right? Like I was fortunate to do multiple things and change careers, but I always felt like there was something else.
Absolutely.
And it's like, it's not that I'm not satisfied. I feel like I don't want to be in that box. And I think a lot of people are scared, like you said, to get out of the box.
Absolutely. And you had the insight, and it's okay to still chase goals. A lot of people say, well, you need to be grateful for what you have. I completely disagree. We need to constantly grow. We need to constantly chase our wants. If we don't, we start to deteriorate. That is an absolute fact. So always chasing a goal and being goal-orientated is completely normal. And it's great that you do that. Not everybody does it. So yes, fear, doubt, insecurities. There's lots of things that develop. Social media. I mean, the kids today dealing with what they need to deal with, and the judging and the anxiety and all of that starts to permeate. And if you don't have that inner voice that is pushing past that inner confidence, that inner self-worth, you start to believe it.
Yeah.
And then, we also tell our children, stop imagining.
Right.
And that's the worst thing that we could be telling them, because that is so part of our brain. It's so part of problem solving and creativity. And geez, dream.
Yeah.
Dream away.
Yeah.
Because that actually helps. But they don't teach us those things in school. They teach us regimented things. And I know I'm a college professor. It's regimented things that attach themselves to learning objectives to tick a box and make a logical brain, which is part of our brain. The other part of our brain is the creativity and the joy and the love and the feeling and the passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's great. And I was fortunate enough to use some of your resources. Tell us about one of your tools that you use in your coaching.
Oh, I use quite a bit.
You use quite a bit.
I do, but one of the primary tools I use is a program where I got certified from, which is a Thinking into Results program through the Proctor Gallagher Institute, and that is the primary tool for moving someone through a process of getting out of your own way, looking at the goals that you want to achieve, developing that imagination and visualization, and then how do we move that into action? How do we make what it is that you're dreaming into reality? And everybody has different nuances, different insecurities, different doubts. How do we get past those limiting beliefs? So I utilize the tool, but I customize it based on what the person is going through, what their situation is, what are their goals, and how we can move them to what it is that makes them happy.
Would you say you focus on women primarily?
I do. It's not that men don't have these situations. They absolutely do. And I do have male clients. But the reason I focus in on women primarily is I understand them better. They are more complex.
Yeah.
And I think I can identify with them a bit more. They can identify with me a bit more. And also, growing up, as I call it, in a male-dominated industry, that is an area that a lot of women still struggle with. There's still a lot of equity issues and gender equality issues that, yes, men have that in other areas, but it's still an area that we struggle with. And that's one of the reasons why I focus in on women.
Wow. Would you say that there are a few specific or common themes that women struggle with, such as imposter syndrome?
Yeah, I was just going to say imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Imposter syndrome, a lot of doubt, a lot of guilt, especially if they're moms.
Mom guilt.
Anxiety is our new buzzword, unfortunately. That's a big one. Overwhelming. All of the duties that we have. There's a variety of different things that come up. Self-confidence. But the imposter syndrome is really quite rampant. And it's really just not having the confidence in the skills and your own abilities. And that's really the underlying issue that we need to get past. And the thing is that believing in yourself.
Yeah,
it really comes down to those types of things.
I think you're right, because like you said, we keep going back to, when did it stop from, childhood to adolescence to adulthood, that we stop believing in ourselves? Sometimes we need to rewrite our script, or, we're breaking generational trauma, right? I think all of us, we can talk about mental health all day long. As much as I had an amazing childhood, but everyone has their thing that they dealt with.
Absolutely.
It's like a baggage, extra luggage that you're dealing with. But how do you go from, yes, I was raised in this, doesn't mean I am this. Yeah. Separating it.
Yeah. But there's a whole variety of things. Even if you had a childhood where you were 100% supported, didn't have that generational trauma or generational stigmas being placed on you.
Right.
As you get into adolescence, then you get into, unfortunately, judging. You get into, trying to be liked, making friends, your body changing, not understanding emotions and dealing with those types of things. So we go through that change most of the time unequipped with what it is we're going through, and still trying to believe with our own inner skills and our inner ability. And then we have teachers and counselors telling us, well, you should be doing this, you should be doing this, you should be doing this. And we look at them as experts and we go, oh, you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe I should be listening to these other people. And then that starts another path going forward. Have you ever noticed in any industry, all of a sudden, like investments even, and banking, and I know, Marianne, if you're watching this, you're going to understand where I'm going from. They're always talking to a neighbor or a friend or a cousin or a family member. Oh, I have to listen to them. No, you don't. You only have to listen to people who are going to support you, not question or judge. And it's difficult. We're constantly bombarded with huge amounts of information. And how do we as young people discern between what I should be listening to and what I shouldn't be listening to?
I know. I always think as a parent, I don't know, should it start in school? I know it should start in the home, but, do we need to implement different programming in school where, all of my children are different, right? Yes. One might be great at the books, but I have another child that is just creativity just coming out of his bones. It's
beautiful.
Right? And maybe school is not the right style of learning for him.
Absolutely.
I feel like we need to go back to the drawing board and look that every child is different.
Absolutely. Customized
Right?
learning programs absolutely are crucial. Unfortunately, it all comes down to money.
Yeah.
And so, if you look at some of these private school systems, do they have it better? Maybe. But there's all of these other things. It's not necessarily just the learning. It's everything else on top of that. There's more counselors than there used to be. And I think maybe moving into the counselor world
Yeah.
and providing extra learning that way, that might be something that they can do.
Like even emotional regulation, like teaching children to, be better adults. I feel like a lot of adults need emotional regulation.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know. True. Like sometimes when you're with people, you're just like, okay, like I don't want to treat you like a child, but maybe you were missing that. Yeah. Depending on the generation that you were raised in.
Absolutely. And, right? They have a new term. Well, it's not really new, but it's a term. It's called emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And, again, the development of the mind in order to control the emotions. Oh, I wish I had that. I couldn't control my emotions when I was younger for love or money.
Yeah.
And now it's still a challenge, but I know how to regulate them a lot more.
Exactly.
And people learn that easier when they get older. Mm-hmm. But it needs to be something that is practiced when they're younger. And unfortunately, it isn't. I don't think it's well understood.
You talk a lot about, just from us talking about your workshops, the inner child.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
Ooh, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, it's not like you can say, well, let's just start imagining. Go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It takes them a bit because they're out of practice, as opposed to your child who just has it out of their bones, right? So
plays football with himself and I.
Just go. But a lot of people struggle, especially too, when I ask them, what is their goals? And a lot of people are like, I don't really have any. Oh, I want to get out of debt. That's not very inspiring.
Yeah.
So, I utilize a tool like Barbies to help women not only go back to what it was like when they were a kid and when they were having fun. And a colleague friend of mine said, when I had Barbies, my Barbie wasn't sleeping all day and doing dishes and, having problem with it. The Barbie was a superstar. She was a model. She looked beautiful.
Yeah.
And it isn't about the perfect body. It isn't about that. It's about realizing the person that you want to be, doing the things that you want to do. Mm-hmm. So I have them, dress a Barbie in a certain way, or play with a kayak, or camping gear, or being on the Riviera, or whatever, and just allow them to imagine that. Mm-hmm. And then guess what? They get to take that home and have it as a reminder of the world that they want to be in.
Right.
And again, it's just a tool, but it's a fun tool.
It's fun, and I've experienced it. I didn't really get the chance to play with Barbies. I love my mom to death, but she wasn't a doll person. So it's, when you let me play with the Barbies, I have a daughter, and it was like, oh my gosh, like I always imagine, doing their hair, and I've always wanted to have a daughter and do her hair. So it's like, I understand what that's like, because as adults, sometimes we're just like in the rat race or the hamster wheel, and we forget to stop and smell the roses. We're just so like,
always
point A to point B, point A to point B. We got to drive and do. And it's like, wait a minute, is this really how we're supposed to live? Like sometimes those profound questions come at 3 a.m. Like, is this really what it's supposed to be like? Wow. And I know that for some, they're not at that point of their life right now. It's hard.
Yes, absolutely.
For them to have that aha moment.
Oh, no, absolutely. And again, if they are dealing with a lot of negative struggles, that's where their brain's going to go.
Yeah.
And you made a really valid point, too, about spending time with children. Spending time with young people and spending time with children allows us to be like a kid. Mm-hmm. And that's absolutely amazing. That's actually one of the things that keeps us young.
Yeah.
So anytime you get an opportunity to act like a child, that's one of the reasons why I go to Disney so much. I can sing and dance down the street. Nobody's going to judge me. Nobody cares. They'll probably sing along with me.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if I'm flat.
The Disney effect. There's a thing. It's the Disney effect.
It is so awesome to just act like a kid and be immersed in the enjoyment and happiness. And, the Barbies is just, again, it's a tool. It can be anything.
Yeah.
But when they came out with the "You Can Be Anything" line, I saw that and I went, absolutely.
Perfect.
That's exactly it. Let's get back to the belief of I can be anything because we can.
Absolutely. I love that. And I love that word belief because I feel we're missing that in today's society a little bit. We're missing that belief in hope, belief in, society, belief in ourselves. And it does start from you. Like, it's like the movie The Lorax, my son loves. I keep going back to it, but you can change the world by just changing yourself.
It starts with you.
Right?
It all starts with you.
We can't rely on other people. It has to start from within.
It has to start with you. And it's funny, we are so programmed, and again, I talk about programming, we are so programmed to respond to what's happening with our senses. Our sight, our hearing, our touch, our smell, our taste, that's it. And, we react to what's happening in the outside world and we allow it to impact our thoughts and our feelings. And what we need to do is reverse that. We need to take this, which is a very, very powerful tool, and control what's happening outside.
Yeah.
But we've been programmed and out of habits and everything else, or what we've taught, to do it the other way. And we're so used to just dealing
undoing
with that. It has to
unraveling
be an
it and trying to take one layer at a time.
It's a reset.
Yeah.
It's a reset. It's a reprogram. And and it's hard, but to not let what's happening outside affect you, but you have to reverse it and gain control because your mind is actually stronger than what's going on outside.
So you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't matter the age.
Exactly. Okay. So I thought it'd be really interesting to play this game that I made for you.
Love games.
I'm going to read off 5 categories.
Okay.
And you're going to pick one, or you're going to pick 2, sorry.
Okay.
And then I'll give you the instructions after that.
All right.
So
Got
the
it.
first one, you can listen to them all: motivational pep talk, the bold move, embarrassing moment, rapid advice, mystery question.
The first 2. Motivational pep talk and the bold move.
Okay. Give a quick pep talk to a woman who's dealing with imposter syndrome.
So pep talk for a woman dealing with imposter syndrome. The fear that you are experiencing is all in your head. Basically, and that sounds easier said than done, but imposter syndrome is all about thinking that you're a fraud, that somebody is going to actually tell on you or basically make you get caught. And it's that whole fake it till you make it thing, which I hate, because you really shouldn't try to fake it till you make it. You should believe that what your skills are and your confidence level is higher than you believe. You need to just start looking at that. And one of the things that I would do is in the first thing in the morning, look at yourself and say, you are absolutely amazing.
Love that.
You got this. Say, I love you. It's amazing the reaction you get when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. The first time I did it, I started to cry.
Aww.
It was weird. Yeah. And I love myself.
I know,
I don't
but
understand
we don't give ourselves enough.
Exactly. But just doing something like that on a daily basis, it's amazing what it will do.
I love that. Okay. So the bold move, what's one of your most boldest decisions you've made in your life and career?
To leave the bank.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah. So again, you stay in the job that you have out of fear. Again, fear of money, fear of everything. And finally, I just said, nope, that's it. I can make it on my own. I don't need the bank. And I quit. And the next day, it was the best decision I ever made. The weight that was off me, oh my
Freedom.
God. Oh, it was so awesome. And it might not be thought of as a bold move, but it's amazing how many people, when they get out of that fear and that fear zone, it's amazing how many people say, I should have done it earlier.
Yeah.
And it's exactly true.
I thought it was going to be the $360 shoes that you bought.
No, I don't think that was a bold move. I think maybe that was an embarrassing move.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Okay, so the second game, similar. I'm going to tell you the emojis.
Okay.
The emoji challenge.
All right.
You're going to pick 2.
Okay.
Okay. So flexed bicep, laughing face, rainbow, fire, and briefcase.
Ooh. Rainbow for sure, and the flex.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So flex bicep, share a time when you felt especially strong or empowered.
Ooh, that's a good one. Time when I felt especially strong. I think every time I talk to a client.
Oh, okay.
I'm there to help them, even though I have my own issues, like we all do. But when I'm helping other people, I feel a sense of not only responsibility, but certainly strength. And I'm the expert in what it is that I do. And so for me, that's extremely powerful.
I love that. That's really good. And the rainbow, describe a goal or dream that makes you feel hopeful and inspired.
I want to work at Disney.
Oh my God. Sue's going to Disney.
Absolutely. In fact, I actually want to speak at the Disney Institute. That is my dream.
Okay. She said it. It's in the universe.
Absolutely.
It's happening. It's so funny you say that because I've always said, I'm going to Hollywood.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You keep saying it. You keep believing it. You keep
exactly envisioning it. I keep
Absolutely.
thinking, if you want a talk show host, I'm available.
There you go. There you go.
Oh my gosh, so funny. Okay, so all right, so I have another segment that I created for you.
Awesome.
Remember those columns in the newspaper? It was like, I forget the name, but it was like you ask advice.
Oh, Abby.
Right?
Yes.
And it was like you like look in the column and be like, oh my God, did she answer your question?
Yes.
So that's what I thought of for you. So if you're looking to do anything else, I think this would be really great for you.
All right,
okay,
cool.
so this segment's called Advice from Sue.
All right.
Okay.
I like it.
So a client feels stuck in a toxic work environment, but is afraid to leave. How do you guide her toward the best decision?
Ouch. That's a toughie because it's so...
It's like similar to your story.
Yeah. So it depends where the toxicity is coming from. So if it's from one individual, I had that situation, and that situation is be absolutely sugary sweet to that individual.
Okay.
Polite, ask them to get, if they want coffee, you'll go into Tim's, do you want anything? They can't, any type of person that's toxic, they can't deal with that. And it actually turns them around. Okay. Now, that works very, very well if it's one person. If it is a larger atmosphere, if it's a cultural thing, get out of there.
Oh,
that is absolutely what I would recommend,
Okay.
because they are going to be sucking the life out of you.
Exactly.
And it is, you know what, you will find a better spot. You just have to want it enough. So don't let the fear and this toxicity, unfortunately, kill you. And I don't mean to take that lightly. I mean that very seriously. Get out.
Okay. That's one piece of advice. The next one. A woman wants to start her own business, but fears failure.
Oh, yes.
How do you help her break through the fear?
So it's all about the goal. The goal has to be stronger than the fear. So the goal has to be stronger than the immediate need or what's stopping them. And it's really always about getting in the goal. And I always say you've got to live in the feeling of your dream fulfilled. So figure out what that is. What business is it? What does it look like? What does it smell like? What are you wearing? What are you doing? And then start to move into the direction of how do we make that possible? If you think about fear, that's what will stop you. And I know that sounds easier said than done, but at the end of the day, that's what you need to do. And you need to start working towards that. There are steps that you can do, but do not give in to the fear. It will be just fine.
Okay. I read this before, and I think it stuck with me that negativity is contagious, just as positivity is.
Yep.
So it's like, what do you choose?
You always have to choose happiness. Right? You have to choose positivity. And again, we are programmed. Some of us are programmed to be sarcastic, to be negative, to complain. I call it negative entertainment. You go to a party and then all of a sudden you start to complain and you turn it into a story and you make it funny and everything. But that's a negativity. Yeah. And that just makes it worse. So you really need to convert it over to positivity, and it'll be amazing what that does for your environment. It'll be amazing for what that does for your results. And you'll see things start to turn.
Awesome. Okay, last thing. 3 tips that anyone, women also, should do every single day as soon as they wake up?
Great question. So I would say positive affirmations, but there's going to be some people out there that say positive affirmations don't work. It depends on the affirmation. If you want something different, then ask for what that is on a daily basis. So if it's money, I say, I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing amounts on a continuous basis from multiple sources. I say that every single day.
Okay.
If it's opportunities, I'm so happy and grateful now that opportunities come to me in increasing amounts.
So
whatever
always
it is.
speak in as if it's happened.
As if it's happened. The other thing is dress as if you are being the person you want to be.
Yes, I always say that. I love it.
Yes. And, people get a little lazy and they're like, I don't feel like it. You know what? If that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to become. The third thing is look at what it is that you want to accomplish in the day. What are those big things that are non-negotiables that you need to be doing that are productive, and don't give in to non-productive activities?
These are great tips.
Thank you.
What I've taken from these tips is endless possibilities in spending money on clothes.
Absolutely.
I'm just joking. No, I do believe in the affirmation. I do believe in positivity, and you're just a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you.
It's so nice to really listen to you. You articulate so well. I think that if you're looking for empowerment, if you're looking for guidance on life, business, maybe you need a reset, we'll post all of Sue's links below. I want to leave you with a quote. I think it's really applicable. If you want change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. So with that, thank you so much for joining me today, Sue. Hope you tune into our next episode, and hope you enjoyed this one. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.